Hello and welcome back. If you've been here before. If this is your first time, I'm Deborah Carr. I write historical fiction in that name, and I also write as Georgina Troy and Ella Drummond. And thank you very much for joining me today. So for those of you who've been here before, thank you for coming back again. You might have seen my video where I said that I was moving. I have been in the same house for 23 years. Shared it with my late husband for 21 of those years, and his mum died in the time that we lived here, and she was a great hoarder. He found it difficult to part with anything. So not only am I going through my stuff, the late husband's bits and pieces that are still there, paperwork, books, hundreds and hundreds of postcards and cards, and when I say a suitcase full of photos, I'm not exaggerating. There were two. His mother's photos, not his photos, his mother's photos. And there's like 10 of the same in some cases. There's so many. Just so much stuff. It can be upsetting, obviously, because you find Christmas cards and birthday cards from people no longer here with us. But I was excited to see cards from my grandmother to each of my children, which is lovely because that's obviously their great grandmother. So it's lovely, it's happy, it's sad, it's bittersweet, I guess. But one of the things I came across in my packing, which seems endless, is this. This was pinned to an old corkboard that I haven't used for a very long time, and it is I don't know if it's back to front, it's the Romantic Novelists Association, and it was my certificate as a finalist in 2015 for the Joan Hosseini Writers Award, and this was for one of my Georgina Troy books. This was for A Jersey Kiss, which is now New Beginnings by the Sunflower Cliffs. It's a Sunflower Cliffs book anyway. And it was signed by Eileen Ramsey, lovely lady who's no longer with us, unfortunately. She was our chairman at the time. And that was so exciting, being a finalist of that. And basically for that is for any new or aspiring authors who write romance, if you're interested in finding a community of like-minded people, or basically join the Romantic Novelists Association. I was a member for years and years and years, and you as a new writer, they have a new writer's scheme, and as a new writer, part of your membership is to you're allowed to send in a full or partial manuscript every year. I think it used to be by the end of August. I'm not sure what it is now. And I did that for several years, sometimes the same manuscript, obviously updated. And I did for different manuscripts, and it was very exciting. I remember getting like 7 pages worth of critique, which made me cry most years, and then I picked myself up and just battled on with it. And one of the books that I put through that was, as I said, A Jersey Kiss, who was a finalist in the Romantic Novel of the Year Award, Contemporary Romance category, which was very exciting. That was 2016. It was also the book that I was in the Joan Hosseini New Writers Award for. Now, you were entered into this if in that year you signed a contract for one of your books, and I did. And I believe that's when I signed for it must have been for Accent Press at the time, who first published that book. So it was a very exciting time, and I remember it was my first publishing party, my first awards. It wasn't my first awards party, because I've been, as a romantic novelist, I went to the annual luncheon, an annual awards luncheon, but as a spectator, not as somebody who was a finalist until the year after this. And you meet all these people, so editors, agents, the publishers, so exciting. I went with my daughter to this, the Joan Hosseini Writers Award in 2015, and it was the most incredible. It was the first big thing I'd ever gone to that I was actually a part of. Very, very excited. I say the first, I've only been a part of it twice, 2015, 2016. But it was really very exciting. So yes, if you're an aspiring author, joining the Romantic Novelists Association is a fantastic idea, I believe. I was a member for 20 years, and well worth it. They have a conference. They had a conference last year and have one next year, and I think they have a get together this summer. So lots and lots to do, and you meet. I remember when I first signed with HarperCollins, and I went to the HarperCollins author party in the summer, which is a very grand affair at the V&A in London. Oh, so excited, and I was so nervous because although I knew a lot of people online, I thought, no, firstly, no one's going to know who I am. Who will I talk to? What will I say? And I walked in and recognised so many people that I had met at RNA parties or conferences or whatever. And I felt like I was at home and had the best time. And now, of course, I know my One More Chapter authors from HarperCollins. So, yes, I now obviously know quite a few people. But my very first time I went, which I believe is in 2018, I thought I'd know no one. And I knew so many people, and it was all through the Romantic Novelists Association. So yeah, if you're an aspiring author and you want to get to know people and you live in the UK, I guess that's a good place to start, I think. So yes, one of the happy things I found was this, which is really nice. But put it this way, if I ever come on here and I ever say, I don't like my new house, or because it does need a lot of work, and I don't like this and I don't like that, it's very different, my garden's much smaller. If I moan about anything at all and sound like I'm thinking of moving again, remind me that I said here, I am never, ever moving again. I never want to have to pack up another box again. I don't know how many boxes of glasses I've got. I think I'm being ruthless. My daughter thinks I could be more ruthless, of course, and give things away, but it's difficult. I'm not ready to part with so much stuff yet. But my poor mum, she has taken 2 carloads so far to one of the charity shops here. I've got big dining room table and chairs, and I've got a big hall stand that just won't fit into my new house. So they're being collected by another charitable shop over here. So I'm basically dumping a little bit, donating to various charity shops, or people in the family have picked up various bits, or I've sold a couple of bits at the auction. What did I sell? Oh, actually no, it was my son and my daughter sold things. Mine didn't sell, but it was a little picnic basket. It was a little old picnic basket, so it was nothing exciting. So yes, all very, I was going to say exciting, but that's a big fat lie. It's exhausting. But we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. My daughter's partner, Ryan, has been the most incredible help. She has packed more boxes than I have, and I've packed a lot. But the loft is clear. We've done most of downstairs, and we still have a few weeks to go, but we are getting there. And I am busy because while I've been doing this the last few days, I haven't been working, which is good because I had a very sore eye because it was very strained from not taking any time off. So I've had about 5 days off now, and today it's all those change of address things though, isn't it? I'm contacting like the post office and the electricity and the water and So, and we have this situation over here whereby house sales only go through court on a Friday afternoon from 2:30. But of course, obviously lawyers don't work on a Saturday. So you have to go through court, you have to then race to town, get your keys to the new house. We'll have people coming and packing up all my boxes and stuff like that on Friday. Myself and my the kids, my 2 and partner, will be spending the night in the new house with 3 dogs with no beds. The dogs will have beds, but we won't have any beds. So we'll just make do just for one night, and then the removal people come back the next day and unpack everything. And the reason it's been done in 2 days is because I have so much stuff. So it's going to be interesting, but it's exciting. I keep telling myself that it is exciting and we will get there. But at the moment, we're in that stage where everybody's tired. Nobody wants to pack another damn thing, but we're just going to keep going. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. But I do intend to write something this afternoon. If not tomorrow, I definitely will. Because I'm only I think it's about 10,000 words in for this next book. And I really should probably be about 30,000 words by now. So I really need to get going. And I miss writing. I really miss it. It's sort of my way, I think, of relaxing. Not all the time, obviously, because when you're under a deadline or when you're doing edits, which you don't like doing most of the time, or if you can't find the words, it's not quite so fun, but we're getting there. So that's my week. Very unexciting, I'm sorry. Not much about writing, apart from if you're an aspiring writer. Romantic Novel Association. I am actually reading a book at the moment. I'm reading it and I'm listening to it. I read one bit, then when I go to bed, I listen to the next bit on audiobook, and it's A Court of Thorn and Roses. Really liking it, actually, really loving it. So I'm happy. I always have to have, obviously, a book on the go. So that's what my recommendation at the moment. So yes, and I actually read a book, and I can't remember the name, so I'll tell you about that next time. I was going to say it's a book recommendation, but I can't remember what it is. I can see the title, but I can't remember what. No, I can see the cover, but I can't remember the title. You can tell I'm tired. I barely know my own name at this stage. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. I hope your week is going well so far. And I look forward to chatting to you again next time. If you've liked anything about this at all and haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe below. And if you've got any questions you'd like to ask me, please do let me know. I'm very happy to answer anything. Thank you for joining me.